Hey everyone, welcome to this, my first of 3 videos on the Nikon D60. Yeah, so going in the Wayback Machine to find some of these vintage DSLRs. The Nikon D60 is an interchangeable lens DSLR. What that means is that you can take the lens off the camera at any time when you're not taking a photo and put a new one on. Digital single lens SLR means it's a digital camera. It uses a single lens. The light from the lens passes through the lens into this mirror here and then up into a pentamirror or pentaprism housing, and you can see the image on that focusing screen when you look through the viewfinder on the back of the camera. It has an aps-c 10.2 megapixel CCD sensor. I believe this has the exact same sensor as the D40X that it replaced. But what that means is aps-c is the format size. Nikon also calls it DX. Never do what I'm about to do and lift up the mirror like this. There you can see the shutter behind the mirror. The sensor's just a little bit smaller than the shutter and it's right behind there. 10.2 megapixels is the size of the image, and CCD is the type of sensor. It's called a charge-coupled device, and at the time that this camera came out, CCDs were a little bit better than equivalent CMOS cameras. That's no longer the case, and CCDs don't really appear in digital cameras anymore. They're mostly used for astrophotography cameras. The shutter speeds range from 30 seconds to 1/4000th with bulb as well. There's a 3 frame per second burst speed with a 6 frame buffer when shooting in RAW. The viewfinder on the back of the camera right here has 0.86x magnification, which means what you're looking at is about 86% of the size of what will be on your sensor and 95% frame coverage. And what that means is that if you imagine that what you're looking at right now is what will be on the sensor, then about 2.5% on each side, as well as the top and bottom, will be on your sensor, but not in your viewfinder. And that leaves you a little bit of room to crop your images when you get your files from your camera, because if you have it slightly askew, you'll have more data on your sensor than in your viewfinder. Now, the other thing this tells us, especially the 0.86x magnification, is that this camera is meant for autofocus. 0.86x on an aps-c sized sensor is small, and it's going to be much harder to get critical manual focus with this camera than it will be to get autofocus confirmation with an autofocus lens. The ISO range is 100 to 3200 plus auto. The flash sync speed is 1/200th of a second. This has no video capability. It can only take still images and cannot record video. This is fundamentally a D40X with the info button that's on top of the camera having been changed to an ADL button. So other than that, this is a D40X. The target market for the Nikon D60 was the entry-level user. It was a slight upgrade from the D40, and the 10 megapixel CCD sensor would have been a nice feature for this camera when it was released. It was made by Nikon in Thailand from 2008 until 2009, and while it was preceded by the D40X, as noted, it was followed by the D5000. So now we're going to go through the camera's features and everything that's on it. So if you have your camera, we'll start here on the top and talk about what everything is. In the second video, I'll tell you how to use everything. Starting here on the sides of the top, these are your strap bars, and this is where you're going to connect your camera strap. Pop-up flash right here, flash hot shoe, mode dial index, mode dial. We'll cover all of these modes in the second video. Here we have your ADL and green button combo button right here, power switch index right here, power switch, shutter release, exposure value compensation button, and then this little symbol right here is the symbol for your sensor indicator, your sensor plane rather. So if you need to take a measurement of your sensor to your subject for something like a microscopy photo, and you need to know the magnification rate, that's where you would magnify from. On the front of the camera, we have the infrared sensor for the remote. Here we have the light for the autofocus assist beam. This is your lens mounting ring right here with a lens communication button. Your lens locking pin. This retracts when you press the lens release button and locks the lens in place so it doesn't fall off the camera. Your lens mounting index. On this side of the mount we have nothing. On this side of the mount we have your function and self-timer button. We'll talk about this in video 3 because you can assign the features and functions to it there. And here we have your pop-up flash button and flash exposure compensation button. This will pop up the flash to activate your on-camera flash. On this side of the camera, behind this cover, we have 2 items. The one on top is a video out. But wait, I just said this camera can't record video. It can't. This is for connecting your D60 to an analog TV with the yellow colored 2.5mm jack analog connection so that you can run a slideshow on your TV of the photos on your camera. This is a mini USB port. It's probably generation 1. It's on the bubble. I can't remember whether USB 2 was actively incorporated into cameras at this point or not. I doubt it. That's probably a Gen 1 early mini USB. At any rate, it's much slower than what you're used to now. This is only for data transfer for your files to your computer. You will get much faster data transfer if you just pop the SD card out of this camera, plug it into your computer, and transfer the files that way. On this side of the camera, we have the SD card port just to open the door, and I'll show you in video 2 how to put the SD card in, and we'll talk at length about SD cards. We also have this little cap right here that pops out, and this is so that if you have an AC adapter for your camera, the cable has somewhere to go. On the back of the camera, we have most of our controls that we're going to talk about. Playback button to play back the photos you've taken. Menu button. We'll cover all of this in video 3. This is your zoom out button and assist button. So if you need to zoom out during playback, this is what you push. This is your zoom in button and info button. During playback, you can zoom in to photos. We're going to talk at length in the second video about what happens when you press the info button, because you can use this to adjust your settings. LCD screen, viewfinder. I believe these sensors are eye sensors. This is your diopter adjuster, and the diopter goes from -1.7 to +0.5. If you want to adjust your diopter, find something like a pencil with a fine tip, put it in a binder clip so it won't move, put your camera on a tripod, and manually focus your lens looking through the viewfinder so that and focus on the tip of the pencil. Take a picture, and if what's in your in your photo matches the focus point, you've got your diopter set correctly. If not, adjust your diopter and try again until what's in your digital file matches what you see in the viewfinder. Auto exposure, autofocus lock button. We'll talk about this at length in video 3 when we assign functions to it. Rear command dial. Control cross pad. We'll see this used in video 3 and video 2 extensively. OK button. Delete button during playback, and SD card access lamp. On the bottom of the camera, we have the battery chamber right here. I'll show you how to change batteries in the second video. Registration info, Nikon digital, Nikon Thailand, made in Japan. Oh no, Nikon Corporation Japan, made in Taiwan, or Thailand rather. So I was right in the notes. Anyway, serial number, tripod socket. Now I do have some things not to do with your Nikon D60. The first one is don't store it with the lens removed unless you have a lens cap to put on it, a body cap. And that's because if dust gets in here, when you go to take photos and you put your lens on, it's going to be trapped in there, and you can take one guess at to where it's going to go. And if you said on your sensor, you would be correct. So always store your camera with a lens on the body or a body cap on the body. Next up, if you take the lens off, don't touch the mirror, don't touch the shutter, and don't touch the sensor that are behind it. And the reason is because your finger oils can mess up all of them in different ways. Your mirror can get tarnished or dirty, which can affect autofocus and metering. Your shutter leaves can get finger oils on them, which can make them sticky, and they might not operate smoothly, or worse, the leaves, they retract behind each other as they operate. So if you push, and each leaf has its own track. So if you push a leaf into the wrong track, it could jam against another leaf and then brick your shutter, rendering your camera useless. And don't touch the sensor, because fingerprints on sensors, really hard to remove. Don't store your camera in a plastic bag or box, because plastic is moisture permeable, and moisture can get into it and cause fungus to grow on your optics. If you do have a plastic box like a Pelican case for it, just make sure you have a really good rechargeable desiccant pack, the kind you toss in your oven to recharge with that so that the moisture can be absorbed by it and doesn't affect your cameras. Don't store your camera gear in your car. In addition to being a really good theft target, the extreme heat of a car in the summer, extreme cold in the winter can really damage your camera. Extreme heat can affect the plastic and cause it to warp. It can also cause lubricating oils in the components to get very thin, and then they run places they shouldn't. And when they're in those places they shouldn't be, they don't leave, and when they get back to their normal temperature, then things don't work correctly. Likewise, in extreme cold, it can cause damage to your plastic components of your camera, but also that those same lubricating oils can become really thick and gummy, and then they don't lubricate properly. Next up, don't let your camera get wet. Electronics and water don't cooperate ever. And lastly, just remember that your Nikon D70 is a precision tool that should be handled with care and respect. As long as you take care of your camera will take care of you. So that's it for the first video. Here are cards that will take you to either the second or third video. The second video will cover all the operation, and the third video will cover the menu system setup. See you guys there.